Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.
We're cooking up a storm at West Virginia Northern Community College. I'm joined by Chef Chris, and you're a part of the Culinary and Arts program here. You've been a professor for 21 years.
That's right, I've been here 21 years teaching, yes sir.
You can have a drink now.
Yes, I can, actually.
So what are we going to be making today here?
What we're doing is we're going to do some Asian-inspired noodle bowls and vegetable bowls. So we can kind of look at somebody has some dietary requirements, whether it be vegetarian, vegan, or gluten-free. I'm going to try to give you some options there. The other thing I'm going to try to look at is how we make our food, because sometimes you need to know what's in your food in case you have dietary restrictions. So we're going to take a look at that.
That's great, because I know a lot of people that have celiac and gluten-free.
Correct.
It's tough for me when I'm hosting them, they're coming over. Okay, what am I going to make for them?
Right.
You know,
we deal with that every week. We have to run the restaurant, and in other jobs I've worked, you know, you get that customer that walks in and says, I can't eat XYZ PDQ, and I'm like, okay, well, what do you normally eat? What can I expand on that for you? So it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that we try to teach our students to know is coming, and certain ways to how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Then there's a lot of it now. A lot more people.
Yes, sir. That is correct. You're not only dealing with celiac or gluten-free, but you're also dealing with other things, diabetes and things like that. So it creates a challenge, especially if you've got, you know, that new 5-year-old diabetic kid coming into your restaurant. How do I deal with that? Mm-hmm. So.
That's great. It's great you teach the students too, so that they know when they're in the workforce. We're going to start, I guess, with a stock, right?
Well, first thing we're going to start with is we're going to make some pickled vegetables real fast.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So first thing, Jeff, you want to drop the water and the vinegar into the open pot there.
This is a water vinegar mixture?
Correct. It's about a 2.5 to 1 ratio.
Okay.
So what we're doing is making a real simple pickle liquid. If you can dump that in there too.
And this is?
That's your vinegar.
Oh, okay.
That's using rice vinegar. If you want to change it up with apple cider vinegar, or you want to change it up with whatever you have, okay? Mm-hmm. Just remember, if you use a dark balsamic, you're going to end up with a dark product in the end. So you just got to be careful. So what we want to do is we're going to add some sugar to this.
Whoa, that's a lot of sugar.
Right. So basically what we want to do is heat this until it's dissolved. So we're just going to kind of sit it out there and get it out of our way, okay? And then now we're going to look at our vegetables. So what we're going to do is, this is a daikon radish, very similar to what you use in a lot of Asian-inspired cooking, red onion, and some shiitake mushrooms. This is what your shiitakes look like when they start. Now, thing you have to remember about shiitakes, see this little stem?
Yeah.
It's like eating a piece of wood.
Yeah, unless you like to eat wood. Yeah,
yeah, that's the case. And but on the other hand, we're going to save this,
okay,
because when we make our stock here in a minute, we're going to use that there.
That's great. You're not wasting anything.
Total utilization of product. That's you know, I'm going back to old school. Old school chefs use everything. You've heard the expression from the snout to the tail.
Yeah, that's
kind of what we're looking at.
Okay.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to make some of these daikon radishes. Okay.
You can get this at a grocery store?
You can buy them. Daikons you can buy. They look like a cucumber, about the length of an English cucumber. The diameter is probably about an inch and a half.
Okay.
But it's a daikon radish. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use my mandolin. Please be careful with your mandolin.
I cut myself. I'm afraid of mandolins.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I've had my own problems. And I have an attachment that will cut, basically it's a julienne cut. So I run it through like that, and I end up with those pieces like
almost
that.
Like matchsticks.
Yeah, exactly like matchsticks. So we're going to drop those in there, and then we're also going to do some onions.
You going to show everyone your Michael Jackson glove by chance?
Yeah, I'll show my Michael Jackson. Okay. So all the things you'll buy at local establishments, they'll have a guard for it. But old school, or if you lose it, this is a chainmail glove. You use that, and
you could get this like on somewhere? Amazon, maybe?
You're not going to find chainmail as much because it's not used a whole lot. You've got to remember, I've been at this a while.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can get them. You can get anything on Amazon.
I want to see you moonwalk while you do this.
I can't do that. I'm not that good. I am not that good. So, Chris put the piece in there upside down. So we got to fix that. And we're just going to run our half red onion across the top there, and end up with. One thing I will say I'm a fan of the mandolin because it just takes so much ease and it's more consistent. You know, even as a professional, and I do this every day, I'm not always that persistent. And
what if you're dicing an onion? I mean, you'd still use it.
Oh yeah, if you're
knife.
I would use hands. You know, the way that we would normally teach people to dice an onion, which we can show you sometime.
Okay,
that's an easy one.
Okay,
that's an easy one. So we've got this ready. We're getting ready. Let's check on our pickle liquid back here. You know, we don't want to get it boiling per se, but you can smell the vinegar. That's what we want to smell. We want to smell that vinegar taste, okay? Because here in a minute, we'll let that cool chill just a little bit, and then we're going to add that to our vegetables there.
Okay.
So
now, how long is this pickle for?
Minimum of about an hour. I've used it in an hour before. We have stuff that pickles sometimes 3 and 4 weeks. You know, once you get past, again, that's in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
This is not like the pickles you're going to buy in the store and leave at home and leave. You got to refrigerate them.
Okay.
Okay. Got to be safe. So while that's getting ready to go there, I'm going to show you the ingredients for our vegetable stock because we're going to be using the vegetable stock for our noodles. You could use a chicken, you could use a seafood, you could use beef. We're just trying to keep it kind of middle of the road and kind of safe, for lack of a better term.
I would think now most people, this is maybe a good point to bring up because you're talking about controlling what's in it. Most people, if a recipe calls for vegetable stock, chicken stock, they go to the grocery store and get it out of that carton.
They get out of the can, or sometimes they'll use a base. We use bases in commercial food service. I use these. I don't. We make our own stocks here, so we don't use this as a whole. We use this as an enhancer.
Okay.
Because any base is first ingredient is going to be sodium, so you got to be careful. Which is why we don't add any salt to any base until the end. Okay. So the basis of our vegetable stock is basically mirepoix. You familiar with mirepoix?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we've got our onions, carrots, and celery. And we're just going to throw in some mushrooms. And let's say you've got something. I was
going to say the mushroom. I don't remember that in there.
Not in mirepoix, no. But we're just kind of throwing in there. Now you have to be careful. Now, as you'll notice on this stock back here, it's kind of brownish, right? Mm-hmm. You know what's causing that brown? That carrot.
The carrot.
So if you want it a little more clear, substitute a parsnip for the carrot. You'll end up with some of a little lighter. Okay. Again, knowing what you're doing and how you're doing it.
You're controlling what's in there.
You're controlling what's in there. Yes, sir. That is correct. So basically, you would dice all this up, put it in your water, and you cook it a minimum of an hour. I mean, it depends on how much you're making. You know, if I'm making just a pot like that, about an hour or so. If I'm making 10 gallons, I'm probably an hour and a half, no more than 2 hours. Okay. And again, taste it. Is that what you're looking for? Again, that's the biggest thing with cooking anything. Taste it. You have to be wanting to eat it if you're going to serve it to anybody else.
So as you go through the steps, taste it a little bit here and there.
With the stock at the end.
Yeah.
But as we're making these things, we're going to taste them.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got our stock going. It's going back there. Our vinegar is ready to go. So we're going to pour this. See if I can hit the hole right.
I was going to hold it, but I'm not
I don't think you want to do that. I don't think you want to do that.
So, really smell that vinegar now.
You really smell that vinegar now, right?
And you'd want to, you said maybe chill it or no?
I mean, you can chill. We're going to let it just sit room temp right here since we're doing this today. But again, I wouldn't want to put a lid on this and throw it in the fridge. Okay. I would not want to do that. And I wouldn't want to just stick this in my refrigerator too, because what that's going to do is bring the temp up and obviously smell up your refrigerator. Yeah. So just let it come to room temp for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Then you secure it wherever you're going to secure it, okay? Okay. So we're just going to kind of sit those back there on your side. All right, so where are we at now? All right, so we've got pickles, we've got our mushrooms ready for that. Now we're ready to move on to our contents of the noodle bowl.
Okay, and we're making 2 different types of noodles.
Right, we're making 2 different types of noodles. We're going to be using ramen. Make your own, buy it at the store, whatever.
So that's the correct pronunciation, ramen, not ramen.
I don't know that answer.
Oh, okay.
I am not a linguist. I don't know that answer.
So I think I've called them ramen noodles my whole life.
Well, you know, when in Rome,
Yeah,
speak like the Romans.
Tomato, it's all the...
Pretty much, right.
Okay.
So that's one version. And again, what have we got in this that some people might not be able to deal with? Gluten.
Gluten,
Okay.
yeah.
Even if it's made with rice flour. Some people who are celiac can't deal with rice flour.
Okay.
So we're going to get away from any kind of flour at all. And we're going to make some vegetable
And if you're
pasta.
also, like maybe even carbs, you're trying to cut out carbs,
Yes.
this is a great way to do it.
Yes, that is
So you're
correct.
still getting that kind of pasta, but it's with vegetables.
Right, and you know, the nice thing about this, you can buy it already done like this.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. It's real popular.
Or you just get my little container here like I got from a food store, and I'm going to show you how we make it. It's really quite simple.
Looks like an egg timer, a giant egg timer.
It kind of looks like
For
that.
like ostrich
But
eggs.
it has small and large. I like large just because it makes a little, so you just put it in
look
there.
at that. I need to get myself one of these. You could just get one of these at a store?
Yeah, yeah.
That is so cool.
They also make different versions. I know at the same store you can probably get one like this if you're, you know.
And then when you could use it as a pencil too, right?
Yes,
Things on-
exactly.
yeah.
You know, the number two, the
Yeah.
big pencil we have when we were in grade school, remember that?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can even, let's say you're doing pasta, like your pasta with a marinara sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You can substitute that for the pasta.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you have a gluten allergy, okay?
Or you could use a, what are those squash, a spaghetti squash.
Right. I mean, actually, this is a sweet potato.
It's pretty hard to turn that.
This particular one is just because it's
Yeah.
not round.
You gotta use a little bit of your muscles.
I got to get down to my pencil.
You gotta eat your Wheaties before you do this.
Okay.
What if they have an electronic version of this?
There is. I've
Yeah.
used them in the commercial food. Because
Yeah.
like a lot of times we'll use these as just garnish in a commercial food service
Yeah.
operation. So, you know, what we're going to do today is we're going to put this and cook it in the stock.
Okay.
You can also saute it, which we're going to do a couple plates of just to have them. Before I get too far, I need to get my ramen going. Because, you know, it shows up in a brick. That's the way it shows up.
And you gotta boil it, obviously.
Right. So we're going to cook it. So we've already got our water pre-boiled over. It's pre-boiled? Yeah, pre-boiled water. Comes from the factory that way.
And you'd remove, if you got seasoning packets, you want to make sure to remove that.
Make sure you remove your seasoning
They
packets.
do not go in the boiling water.
No, they don't.
Ramen, or ramen, is the official, speaking of college, since we're at college, that's the official, I guess, food of college kids everywhere.
Correct. The 99-cent per
Yes.
portion. You know, my kids still eat it. They use it in a microwave, put it in a bowl.
Yeah.
Just got to put some water with it in the microwave, or else you could have some problems. Just saying. I've experienced that with my children. So.
Yeah, you don't want to just, you'd burn it pretty, if you put it in the microwave without water.
All right. So we're going to multitask here, Jeff. You think you
Okay.
handle that?
I think
Can
so.
you handle watching the pasta, make sure it doesn't overcook?
Yeah.
All right.
So, do we need me to time?
No. Because
Okay.
what's the best way to tell? We talked about tasting earlier, right?
Yeah.
What's the best way to tell if pasta's done?
Throw that on the wall.
Nah, it doesn't work that way. Just
Is
pull a
that
little
what they
piece,
did?
pull a little piece up and eat it.
Okay. I thought
You know, a lot of times you can tell by how tough it is.
Yeah.
How tough it is. So once it starts getting softer, that's when you start, you know, I treat this like pasta. I want it al dente.
Yeah.
Familiar with the term?
Yeah, al dente.
To the tooth. That's what I want. So that's where we want it. Because remember, when I take it out of here, it's probably going to cook a little more. So
Didn't Old World Italy, didn't they throw them on the wall?
You are correct. I'd have to talk to my old boss. She could tell me about that much easier than I can. So my skillet got a little too hot.
I think tasting's a little easier than throwing on the wall.
Plus, I have less to clean later.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do while you're doing that is I'm
Okay.
going to take some of these carrots and some of the squash, and I'm going to do a quick saute. All I've got in here is some simple olive oil. Okay.
So saute, is that like a low medium heat?
Saute is quick and high and fast.
Look at that flippage. He's
Thought
showing
I've done
off now.
practice at this.
He's showing off. Now you've been teaching here for 21 years, but how many years have you been a chef?
I've been in the food service industry for almost 35 years.
Okay.
I worked in what I call the world before I started teaching. I actually still do work in the world. And you know, for those of us that work in CTE programs, I think that's important because I have to keep current with trends and things like that because again, as you saw on the other side, we've got a brand new stove that's smarter than you and I are combined.
Yeah. And Bluetooth.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have that when I learned.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it makes me mad because I don't know how to use it.
Well, they even have refrigerators now to where
yes,
you can order your food for your fridge. So should we give this a try or?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. See where you're at.
One long noodle.
Oh, come on, Jeff. You can do it.
Well, you just want me to taste
it.
Isn't it gonna be hot?
Oh, come on.
That's not too bad. I'm like this is a fish with a worm. It has some bite to it.
You think it's done?
If you like it al dente, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Okay, so we're gonna drop a little bit of like what I cooked earlier. If I can borrow your tongs for a minute. We're gonna drop that back in there, loosen it up. That's the good thing about pasta. You can.
So if you're at a restaurant, you already have that like made, and then
it was already cooked.
Yeah.
And then all I'm doing is retherming it, and putting it on the plate, reheating it. If you've ever worked in a restaurant like that, that's how we do it.
No, you never put oil with your pasta, right?
As a commercial operator, I don't. No.
Okay.
Because since we cook it before, we wash all the starches off of it. So the oil, all it does is that's dollars for us as operators.
Yeah.
It does have flavor, don't get me wrong. So on the end, I'd add some oil to it. But if you're cooking it fresh at your house, putting it straight on the plate, yes, oil is great because it's going to enhance that flavor a little bit.
Does it help it from sticking much or no?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because again, what causes it to stick is the starch. And for us, we've taken the starch off of there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that should be good. Got my handy dandy drain right here.
That's a nice strainer.
The correct term is chenois.
Chenois.
All right.
So would I fail my first day of class if I called it a strainer?
Well, I have to give you, give you a couple tests.
Some points?
Some remediation.
Okay.
So you see how the water's turned white here?
Yeah, that's the starch.
That's the starch, right.
Okay.
That's the starch. All right, so that's ready to go. This is ready to go.
And you guys make your own stocks here. We're talking
Correct.
about that. That's what
we do our own stocks here. We do a lot of different things.
And you have that piece of equipment. What's that called for the stock?
We use a tilt kettle.
Okay.
So what that is a steam jacketed kettle. So it's basically a big pot, and it has water that runs around it, and electric heats it. So it heats it from the bottom and all the sides. The only place it doesn't get heated is the top.
Nice.
So that's what we always do our stocks in. Like when we do a veal stock or
your stocks or your socks?
Depends on the day.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
Sock stock.
Yes. So what I'm going to do too to therm up some of these vegetables that we're going to use in the other one.
I love the color too when you do that with the vegetables.
That's the thing too. You get to build it. Mm-hmm. You know, when you guys did the burrata a couple shows ago. You know, you build that with that color of those tomatoes and stuff. And that's a key for us when we're trying to teach these kids in a restaurant. You want that color. You want something to jump off the plate at you. So you add those colors.
This is a great way too for children if you want them to eat their vegetables, right? You could sort of, I mean, that doesn't really look like a carrot, or it looks like, you could just say it's colored pasta. They won't know the difference.
Plus, you know, a lot of us as kids, we ate vegetables that were overcooked, right?
Yeah.
And we had this big,
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sauteed Brussels sprouts?
Oh, I love Brussels
with
sprouts.
With bacon?
Oh, yeah.
With fresh bacon?
Balsamic. I make it for Thanksgiving every year.
Yes, it's to die for. All right, so.
Actually roast them, I think. Yeah, roast them and put balsamic and bacon.
So we're going to put some of our vegetables down in here.
In our Ohio stoneware, where you can get them at Zanesville. Just give them a visit or head online, but these are their stoneware products right there. You could put these in the oven or everything.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like one of the other companies I used to use in the state of West Virginia, you can bake in that stuff.
Yeah, you can.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think it's like several thousand degrees. It's good for us.
So we're going to drop the ramen in the bottom there.
I already forgot the name of that. Chenois?
Chenois.
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 Chenois. I'm going to impress my wife when I come home and next time I make noodles. Honey, could you get out the chenois? She'll look at me like I'm crazy.
You have to remember, I'm used to being in the kitchen where I can make a mess. And
That's okay. That's all. That's the sign of a good kitchen, where you make a mess.
So we've got our 2 bowls ready. Now we just have to garnish them.
It's a sign of work when you're making a mess.
Don't tell my boss that.
I wanted to throw your noodles on the wall. I mean,
well, I mean, if you want to, go for it, man.
Yeah, this is going to have, between the stock and the pickle, you're going to have a lot of flavor right here.
Now, we're not going to saute these mushrooms, but you could, because actually I have over here a sauteed mushroom top that I could just lay in top there.
Those are shiitake, or are they cremini?
Those are shiitakes.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a little bit.
You ever cook with morels?
I have.
Yeah.
It's just they're so expensive. You don't see them a lot in commercial kitchens.
A lot of people around here like to go hunting for them.
Yes, that is correct. If you're going to go mushroom hunting,
make sure you know what you're doing.
Yes, and take Chef Darcy with you.
Really?
She does that hunting thing.
Does she have a dog that hunts for him, or is that
that's
truffles?
That's a pig actually for truffles.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well,
in France, there are dogs.
Dogs.
There's pigs though too.
Maybe the dog I'm thinking of looks for the chocolate truffles. That's what it is.
We just got rid of ours last week. Our chocolate truffles.
Oh, that's a shame. I came 1 week too late.
Yeah, we had truffles in 3 different meals. We made probably 1,000 truffles over 2 meals.
Well, this wouldn't be 1 serving here, would it?
No, this would be 1 serving. This would probably be 2. So we got enough for everybody at home. Okay.
That's like the giant bowls right here. Wow.
Well, you know, when you bring a big bowl, I fill it up.
I know. It's impressive.
All right, so what we've done is we've taken just the pickled. Here, try a pickle. Just in the 10 minutes we've had it.
Mm-hmm. Oh. That's just 10. That's amazing. That's only 10 minutes.
Imagine that after 30 minutes or a day or so. When I have extra of these, I take them home. I put them on a sandwich.
No, you can't pickle pickles like that. You need a lot longer, right?
Well, when we do pickles here, because we do that as part of our gourmet class, we do what we call refrigerator pickles. Okay. So similar process. You pour the liquid over it, and then we put it in the cooler, and it's got to be in there at least for a week.
Okay.
For pickles, yeah. And then usually with refrigerator pickles, you can keep them up to probably about 2 months, somewhere in that ballpark, as long as you keep them under refrigeration.
Nice.
You know, these, like I said, I've kept them 4 or 5 weeks, had no problems with them.
Nice.
Because once they get cold, they're
and
fine.
it really adds, a totally different layer of flavor to this.
All right, so you want a spoon or a fork?
I don't know.
Or both?
Probably a fork, maybe a spork.
Oh, this is not the military. We don't have those. They even have a soup spoon for you.
I'm just going to pick it up and go like this.
If that's what you want to do, my friend, it's your show.
So let's see. Let's give this a little taste. So we just want to. I don't want to do that because then I'd have to eat the whole bowl.
That's why you just pick up a little bit.
I got too many noodles right there. I'll be here forever with this guy.
That's why you don't go so deep. You just go in a little bit.
I went in.
Because your mind's going, I'm hungry.
I went deep sea diving on that one.
Yes, you did.
Now I can't get any noodles. This is good.
You can
just
use your fingers. It's okay.
A taste. That's good.
And if you're looking for a little more salt,
yeah,
just take a little bit of your base, add that to your stock. Just give you a hint of salt, or just regular salt. Again, salt is one of those things that you can add just about anywhere in the cooking process and just achieve the same desired result. But if you add it in the beginning, it intensifies tremendously. That's why if you make your own stocks, you never put salt in it because you don't know what your end product is.
Also like deep frying, right? If you're going to deep fry, you always want to add the salt at the end.
Yes, that's correct. Because then it has to come right when it comes out of the deep fryer.
Yeah.
That way it sticks.
Great. Now, could you add chicken to this if you wanted to?
Yes, if you wanted to add chicken.
Where would you add the chicken? Would that be like in the stock?
I mean, if you're making a chicken stock, obviously you wouldn't put you put bones and things in it.
Yeah.
But probably what I'd do is maybe saute it, or if you use the whole chicken to make your stock. Let's say you did that, then you pull those chicken meats off and then saute it real quick, and put it in here. That'll work.
Okay.
I mean, you can put beef in there. Since this is a really quick process, you want something that is going to cook quickly. So if you get like a top round or something like that, a tougher meat, you don't want that. You want something more like a filet. Unless you're gonna, let's say, marinate it and serve it, that sort of thing. A lot of times I'll take leftover London broil
Okay.
And then just saute that, cut that up in little pieces, and put that in there.
Or dip your chicken wings in there.
Or
Doesn't matter,
I mean, I
whatever
guess you
want,
could.
yeah?
I've never tried chicken wings, so.
Well, thank you, Chef Chris. This is not only great tasting, it looks beautiful too.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
What level would this be at the class here at the school?
Is
Is this introductory, or would this be medium?
This is about medium. Well, this is something we would teach in our advanced food science classes, which is their second semester here.
Okay.
So we'd be teaching them how to make the ramen, okay? Because we do make our own pasta here. Ramen would be a part of that. These vegetables, again, part of that class as well, because again, we go through our vegetable identification as well as vegetable cooking, different styles. You know, obviously this is real fast, okay? You know, with the vegetables that are in this, not even cooked at all.
I think I'd pass the vegetable.
I think you would.
Vegetable identification. You want to sign out?
I think that's your job.
I think it is. We're cooking up a storm from West Virginia Northern Community College. Until next time, keep cooking.
Hearthstone, Ohio Stoneware Factory Outlet offers a large selection of crocks, mixing bowls, bakeware, and more, showcasing the history of local art pottery with thousands of hand-decorated pieces. Hearthstone, Ohio Stoneware, the destination for pottery lovers.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life, West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program and Ohio Stoneware.
Hi, I'm Jamie Baker. Thanks for watching. Here's another video for you to watch, and please be sure to subscribe to our channel.